Whoa, guys, Ryan Biddulph here, blogging from paradise, trying to take advantage of light situation. Let's do a little. Whoa, battery low. I was going to do a little periscope in here, but I don't know if I'll be able to. No, not periscoping. You know what? Start live video. Let's do a little Instagram. I know it's going to go out as well. Not much light to work with, but we're going to go with it. Hey, Instagram. Hey, guys. How are you? Basically, it is late Tuesday night here in beautiful Paikakariki, New Zealand. And I want to talk about one. Oh, you know what? Let me link to my ebook. Why the hell not? Say something. Here's my ebook. Check that out. Oh, will it work? I don't know if it'll work. Will it work? Turn on, turn off. Hold potential inappropriate messages. I don't know. We're just winging it. Okay, say something. Here's my ebook. I'll link to. And that's bloggingparadise.com/ebook. If you guys want to become full-time professional bloggers, you could buy my ebook here, bloggingfromparadise.com/ebook. And it's how to retire to a life of island hopping through smart blogging. Now, the number one skill you want to develop, guys, to become a super duper successful blogger, you want to become a highly successful blogger. This is one skill you need to develop. And that is a skill of being really comfortable with being uncomfortable. And here's a perfect example. At 9:42 Tuesday night, New Zealand time, most people may be settling into bed, most professional bloggers. It's kind of just coasting into your comfort zone, doing what feels comfy and cozy. And most folks, I'll make myself a superhero here, but most folks would definitely, hey, thanks for joining, would definitely be at peace and at ease with just hitting the sack. And I totally get it. You know, I have been there. But to be like one of those guys that people really look up to and to really rock it out, you're going to see your greatest growth. Hey, on Instagram, I may go out any second, guys, just because I need to charge there. And technically on my Chromebook too. Guys, if you are willing to just do the sometimes highly uncomfortable things that a whole lot of bloggers don't do, if they don't go that route, then you're going to shine so brightly because all of your growth, all of your success lies well outside of your comfort zone. And that's something that's so difficult for most bloggers to grasp. They're just really accustomed to being bitch slapped by their fears or by making the comfortable choice. And again, it's a perfect example. Right now, you could easily settle into bed and there wouldn't be anything wrong with it. But there's certain things that successful bloggers are being regularly, habitually, that help them become the top 0.0001%. Now, it's not a matter of just pushing and straining and striving and forcing yourself to do things. It's more about baby stepping your way outside of your comfort zone. And this is what all super successful bloggers do because all the traffic, all the blogging profits, all the success, all the interviews, all the features, all the exposure when a blogger appears to be in 15 million places at once, that all happens outside of your comfort zone. So the skill you have to develop is to be super duper comfortable with being uncomfortable and diving into your fears. Now, most bloggers just, they face a fear. It gets a little uncomfortable, get a little nervous. So I don't want to be on live video. You know, the battery can go out on my phone. That's probably going to happen in a couple seconds. But we'll go with it. That's okay. Or I'm not going to write an ebook. Nobody will read it anyway. Who the hell cares? That's so difficult. How am I going to format it? Blah, 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 blah. And these little thoughts and feelings come up in your mind. And since most bloggers are average, or not even average, they struggle horribly. What is like 8 out of 10 bloggers, 81% of bloggers never make more than $100 during their entire online career, which is insane. Something feels uncomfortable and they stop. They just stop right here, like right in front of them. It's like, this is not going to, and then boom. Now, that's obviously not being comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's quite the opposite. That's as soon as things get uncomfortable, as soon as you feel a little bit of fear, you just turn right around. And that's why most bloggers really struggle horribly because all the success, all the traffic, all the profits, all that sweet, sweet blogging goodness, sugary success, that happens well outside of your comfort zone. Sometimes it's going to be scary. Sometimes your mind's going to race. Sometimes you're going to say, hey, wait a second. Nobody here's watching. Yeah, I'm in 80 million places, whatever, in a blog niche, but I'm doing this on YouTube. And, oh, yeah, nobody's watching right now. I don't care. I don't give a shit. And you know, Instagram maybe a little bit. I create without worrying about outcomes because I'm not thinking of doing the viral online video bit. I have a viral online presence. I don't think about the outcomes, think about service. Now, in the beginning, that was very uncomfortable for me because I was very outcomes driven. Oh, I'm creating this, nobody's watching right now. Or I created a video and 3 people watch. But since I'm not addicted to outcomes and I'm really comfortable with being uncomfortable, go to bed, honey. It's Telex. I just formed this habit of creating so habitually, despite outcomes, that I appear to be in a lot of places at once. You see me on Instagram, you see me on YouTube, you see me on Twitter, you see me here, you see me there, 1,000 guest posts, 100,000 plus blog comments, most likely over the course of my career. Seriously. Thanks so much for joining, Guy. So it's one of those deals, guys, where if you are willing to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, you'll become a super duper successful blogger over the long haul. And it's a skill. And it has nothing to do with people think about, writing guest posts, writing blog posts. They have these practical tips in mind. So they think, oh, you have to be really good at guest posting to become a successful blogger. No, not particularly, because you might find a channel that really resonates with you. But in the same regard, can I wait? All right. All right. In the same regard, you have to be really, 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 really willing to dive out of your comfort zone into very uncomfortable areas. And that's where you develop the skills through habitual practice before you're seeing any type of appreciable results, before anybody's showing up to your blog. That's exactly the point where you're falling in love with the process, you're putting in the work, you're being patient, where you start to shine more and more brightly. But this is the skill you have to develop, guys. You can't just turn around when you feel fear. You can't just see yourself as doing something for a little bit, giving it a shot, and then not seeing any appreciable results and being like, screw that. Because that's exactly where most bloggers stop. But the successful bloggers of the world, they keep going despite feeling uncomfortable and sometimes being terrified. You know, many times in my career, I'd do something, I'm like, oh my God, I'm wasting my time. And during my lean days, oh goodness gracious, did I ever turn around? And those are some really, really difficult years. I didn't see things through. I did not develop the skill of being comfortable with being uncomfortable. But over the years, as I really, really doubled down, I got really good just being able to not even so much tolerate fear, but feel it and keep going in the other direction and keep creating despite seeing no results. By doing that habitually, it became second nature to dive into my fears and to create and to connect and to create and connect. And I would write and I'd write and I'd write and I'd write my ass off. A lot of times in a Word document, no direct outcome. And that would drive me crazy. Oh, you're wasting your time. But now with me being able to churn out guest posts or blog comments or post on bloggingparadise.com, which again, guys, you want to become full-time blogger, you could buy the ebook here, bloggingfromparadise.com/ebook. I became so skilled and clear with writing that I started churning out content to such a degree, helpful stuff, where my content went up all over the place. And then I started seeing greater and greater success. Most bloggers do not practice. They do not develop skills. They just give things a shot, or they do things for a while. And then when things start to get a little uncomfortable, or when it gets really uncomfortable, get hot under the collar, they really put in this time and they're not seeing any results. No money, no traffic. They just quit, or they try to do something else. And then they struggle for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4. They are not comfortable at all with being uncomfortable. But if you develop that skill, you will become highly successful because you'll be developing the tangible skills, guest posting, blog commenting, become a super networker where you're generously sharing other people's content and commenting on their blogs. You're linking into other people. You'll build your friend network. Your reach will be just all over the place. Those are the folks that rock it out, and they're just comfortable with being highly uncomfortable because all the growth is well outside of your comfort zone. But again, you have to simply embrace fear, and that is something that takes time to do. Because if you're like any person, most of us have been trained to really sit in our comfort zone because we're in survival mode. Get a job, pay bills, put a roof over your head, that's it. This way you don't have to deal with going broke or being embarrassed or being humiliated or failing. And that happens when you're firmly ensconced. You may be miserable and unhappy, but you're right in there. Folks who really rock it out, have fun, traveling all over the world. I'm in New Zealand now, just absolutely loving it. End of our trip, a little sad, end of 3 months, but definitely look forward to moving on. But I've loved it here. But, I've traveled the world for 7 years straight, guys. I mean, yeah, we go back to Jersey for a little bit, not the Isle of Jersey, New Jersey, and visit with fam, maybe a little more the past couple of years or a lot more. But even then, when we go back, we do house sits in New York City. So we're enjoying, we just landed another sit in this place on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, probably a $5 million pad. Phenomenal. 4 bedrooms on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. That goes to show you what type of place this is. But doing these house sits and living this lifestyle, it's something that I experience now because I've created a lot of content, helped a lot of folks. I've built a lot of friend networks, not just like one, it's just like expanding. And that all happened while outside of my comfort zone. Because think of where I came from. I was an unemployed security guard. You know how uncomfortable this journey was for me at times? But I had to get accustomed to just feeling my fear and doing it anyway, even when it was terrifying, even when it was a little uncomfortable. And it had nothing to do with really me pushing myself. It was being pulled, a little bit of gray, being pulled, not pushed, nudged, not forced. Feel free to tweet me on that or Instagram. And it was just a totally different experience. But when I became just accustomed to doing this, to writing an ebook, even though I was terrified to do it, I had no idea how to format. I thought, oh, nobody's going to buy this. I just didn't listen to those voices that told me to sprint back to where I felt safe. And that's where you're going to become the most successful blogger. If you're going to become super duper successful, any of the skills you're developing, most likely if you're totally new to blogging, you don't have these skills. You have to develop them. And it's a very scary process. You'll be afraid. You think you're going to fail. You think you're going to waste your time. The people that don't get anywhere, and it's most bloggers, they just stop. Things start feeling a little uncomfortable. The ones that rock it out, they get very uncomfortable with that feeling. I've been there. I cannot stress how many times I've been there. But again, this is how you succeed. This is how you really rock it out. So guys, I'm going to roll. About 15 minutes, 12, 13 minutes. I'm sitting on YouTube. I'm on YouTube Live as well. I'm also on Instagram. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Watching it live or watching it down the road in the future. And also did a video with this topic on Facebook as well. So I just figured I'd mix it up a little. Had a blast as always. Thanks so much. Really, the call to action is, if you want to become a super duper successful blogger, cultivate the habit, develop the habit. Check yourself before you turn around when you face fear and say, I'm going to become comfortable with being highly uncomfortable, which means you're going to do things that are really scary. Baby step through them. That's okay. You're terrified to do your first live video. So what you'll do is offline, you won't even have it go public, maybe 2, 3 videos. You'll record and you'll look at yourself and you'll say, I hate how I sound. I look stupid, blah, blah, blah. But then eventually, within a couple of weeks, you're going to go to YouTube. You're going to go to Facebook, Instagram, Periscope on Twitter, or Periscope if you're not from New Jersey. And then you'll hit that live button and it will be very uncomfortable. Welcome to being a successful blogger. This is how it is for everybody. If you want to become established pro. So dive in and do that. The other call to action, if you want to become a full-time blogger, you could buy bloggingfromparadise.com/ebook. That's where you could buy the ebook. You could find it. And it's How to Retire to a Life of Violent Hopping Through Smart Blogging. Great read for folks if you want to become a pro blogger. Thanks so much for joining all on Instagram. I'm going to shut it down. See you later, guys, if this works. Limited light situation here. Oh, doesn't want to end. Doesn't want to end. Well, you're going to see me wrap it up now. And thanks so much for joining on YouTube. Until next time, everybody knows what to do. Ta-ta, YouTube. See you later. Enjoy paradise.